Hello YouTube. Today on Talk Talk Anime, I'll be discussing Death Parade. If this anime had a genre, it would be a drama, thriller... No. How about I describe the main character instead? Imagine something along the lines of Judge Judy merged with Spock to become an emotionless St. Peter at Purgatory's Gate. Enter Decim. Now, this is a review, and I will be spoiling a lot of the things, even more. Now, Decim runs a rather illustrious bar in Quindecim, which is a place people arrive and are coerced into playing a game to which they believe will cost them their lives. They only arrive at said bar once they are dead. However, they lose their memories upon death, otherwise there wouldn't be much point to the whole risking their lives thing. The games themselves are meant to psychologically back the players into a corner in which they will reveal the deepest, darkest parts of their soul. Based on what is revealed, the Arbiter will send the player to heaven or hell, which we discover that are in fact reincarnated or sent to the void. The basic premise of Decim Judge Judying the undead with us as spectators, awesome. The first episode had me giddy with expectation for the series. The perspective of who was in the right and who was in the wrong, flippantly changing, and that bloody ring symbolism. The second episode gave a behind-the-scenes expose of the first episode to start establishing a system of sorts. At which point I started comparing the breakdown on mental stability to a mini-episode of Death Note. What makes a person bad? In Death Note, it can be argued the case was a simple god complex that corrupted an otherwise upstanding student. But Death Parade could hit any demographic in the realms of evil within humans. Because of the episodic nature, the show establishes two people come down, and they can have any debilitating horror be dragged out of them. Every episode this can happen. Think about it. We get to sit back and judge. My expectations were high. The first episode, their inner demons were brought out by themselves. And short of messing with the games every so often, Decim doesn't really do much to coax the inner demons out of people. He just kind of lets them remember things. Also, instead of us learning about Decim through his interactions with the people that come down, we're reminded of the rules for the Arbiters time and time again, how they are dolls and have no emotions. I don't know about you, but I counted a few emotions, or at least actions, that couldn't be possible without said emotions, such as being mysterious, furious, humorous, serious, delirious, victorious, oblivious, insidious, spontaneous, imperious, glorious. And those are just the ones that I could rhyme. I mean, there's bashful, dopey, sleepy, grumpy, sneezy, happy, doc. Wait. I'd like to get serious for a bit. The reincarnation or the void are the only two options that are given. The void wasn't clearly defined. I assumed we were dealing with Eastern philosophy because reincarnation was involved. Also, another indicator this may be the case is Oculus has a damn lotus goatee and ponytail. The lotus, for those of you who don't know, the lotus is prominent in Buddhism, Hinduism. It's even found in ancient Egyptian cultures. However, given the nature of the show and the fact that the opening credits has basically Oculus portrayed as having multiple hands in a fashion that could easily be seen as Durga, I think Hinduism is a safe bet. The problem then lies with the combination of Western and Eastern ways of thinking about things. The void through Eastern philosophy is actually sought after. It's what you would want. Reincarnation is actually the punishment. You have to go back to Earth and pretty much try again. You get to go back to where there's pain and suffering. Being sent to the void is peace. It's enlightenment. A Zen state where things are simply okay. There's no more good or bad. It's not until the 11th episode the void is actually said to be this terror, regret, despair, and the sensation of falling forever. It sounds a lot like most portrayals of hell there, Bob. Back to you in the studio. Hey, thanks, Bob. I know what you mean. With the system, you either go back to the Earth with your memories erased and get reincarnated, or you're sent to the void permanently and lose all hope. So doesn't that mean that everyone will eventually go to the void? Let's run a demonstration. Imagine Mother Teresa shows up. Now she's probably going to be reincarnated, right? She's going to have her memories wiped. Let's say she is reincarnated into Gandhi. Gandhi dies, he shows up at Quindecum. He would probably be reincarnated, assuming the game isn't like an eating contest or something. So let's say he gets reincarnated into Jesus. Then Jesus dies. Assuming the game he plays isn't about tipping at the Last Supper, he's probably going to get reincarnated too. But this time, he's reincarnated into Kanye West. Now, unless the game is about music, the odds are probably stacked against you. If the game involves award show ceremony interruptions, being a gay fish, or basically any social game where class and respect of mankind is important at all, you've probably got a one-way ticket to the void. But what about Teresa, Gandhi, and Jesus? Wasn't Kanye a reincarnation of them? Does that mean they all go to the void too? Or are they simply nothing upon reincarnation? In a system where only reincarnation and void are possible, you are essentially in a loop until you get the Kanye. You lose your memories and become a new person over and over again until you're put in a bad circumstance, inevitably and eventually going to the void. There's no good and bad, it's just bad and bad. They took the void, which is a westernized idealization of hell, and reincarnation, the you messed up and need to try again route. Take home message: life is meaningless in the world established by Death Parade. Decim, if you say I envy people who have lived a fulfilled life, one more time knowing the fate that awaits them, given those circumstances. Now, I actually had to take a step back and wait to write a review on Death Parade, because my initial feelings were filled with hatred from lack of potential. Then, when I looked a little deeper, after watching a few episodes of what Chibi Reviews had to say, I realized it had been a while since an anime had given me the opportunity to really challenge the viewpoints presented therein. I think I set my expectations too high for the show in categories they simply weren't trying to be good at, especially given that the anime was originally designed to do nothing more than show off talent, which is apparent that they have, mind you. Just a side note, I've taken a ballroom dancing class, and it is amazing how they do the dancing, and how she quite obviously leads him, which fits their roles, given that the man is typically supposed to lead. Usually the one with more life in them tends to do this. All in all, these are the stories I want to be seeing from anime. I like shonen anime as well, but the market always seems to be oversaturated with little to nothing else becoming mainstream. So I support Death Parade and its fan base, but in hopes that Death Parade wasn't being used simply as a stepping stone to create something more shonen-like. If you haven't seen Death Parade, go check it out. It's only 12 episodes long, and I've had so much I wanted to talk about just from those episodes. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, please leave a message. I'd love to know what you think. Thanks. Bye.